he was saying, you know, I can't have special rules for me because then other people might want to withdraw. And if I want to be part of this programme, I'm here at the retreat and I have to attend the vicar because the vicar's a big part of the programme.
I understand there are certain things that, you know, you hold as your principles. But looking from the outside, you do seem to be quite inflexible and not very open to looking at new things. You know, if you do just want to come and have your say, then, you know, that's welcome. But equally, I think we'd all like you to get something extra out of that, and the only way to do that, I think, is to open up a bit. So
I know what I feel in my heart at the end of the day, and if I don't feel comfortable with something, I can only go with that. I can't pretend or lie. I'm not that kind of person.
But realistically, what you do impacts on all of us as well.
We've come here like a team. We've come here like a team, and we'd like to leave happy like a team, not -1, basically. So, and that's the deal. And then, regardless of what you miss and what you come to, do as much as you can. If you don't do it for these people, do it for us, and spend as much time as you can with us, and leave with 5 more friends.
After dinner, Aisha retires to consider her verdict, leaving Azim fearing the worst.
My emotions about the whole of this retreat has been swayed by one person. Yeah. I don't know if it's a good thing or if it's a bad thing. I'm enjoying doing the namaz, and I'm going along with other things. And now I feel as if, because of one person and the possibility of them leaving, is going to sway the way I feel about this place.
Abdullah has decided it's time for the group to put all they've learnt about presence into practice in the outside world. He's arranged a 2-day visit to Morocco. With just 14 kilometres separating Christian Spain from Islamic North Africa, it's an ideal opportunity for the group to experience Islam for real. With only minutes to spare, Aisha decides to join them.
For me, Morocco is a very special place. It epitomizes the spirit of Islam. So much so that it's the place that I became a Muslim 30 years ago. Knowing it as I do, I know that it can be quite overwhelming for someone who comes new to it for the first time, which is perfect for us because we want to take the group out of the safe zone. And if they can maintain a sense of gatheredness in the sea of change going on around them, then they will have access something of presence.
With its roots in the nomadic deserts of Arabia, travelling in company features heavily in the Islamic tradition. Learning to rise above the inevitable stresses and strains and dealing with the unexpected is seen as a way of deepening understanding of the self.
Some of you may want to know where we're going tonight, where we're going to be, who we're going to be with. Guess what? I don't know. What I want you to be present to is that it's what we call tawakkullah. We're placing ourselves in the hands of Allah, and we're just going to fall backwards, and we're going to hope that we're going to get caught.
The only arrangement Abdullah has made is to visit an Islamic scholar he knows in the city of Tetuan, 26 miles away.
God, I can't believe there's no kind of actual plan.
Maybe that's part of the whole thing, you know, the spiritual journey. You don't really plan a spiritual journey, do you?
And that maybe that's a part of actually finding yourself as well, putting yourself through so much pressure.
Yeah.
For their whole time in Morocco, Abdullah is relying entirely on the hospitality of Sufi friends. When they finally arrive in Tetuan, as expected, the hosts immediately throw open their homes to the group.
Everything down. Just put everything down.
In keeping with Muslim practice, the men and the women will stay in separate quarters.
Are you okay? Home? Yeah? Khadija, are you feeling okay?
No.
What's the problem?
Just because I'm used to having things planned and I know exactly what I'm doing.
Okay,
and it's just
leave it to Allah.
Allahu Alam, and it's a bit...
Leave it to Allah.
Okay.
That's what the trip's about. Okay?
Yeah.
Tired and unsettled, Khadija's ability to be present in the moment has deserted her. The men have been invited to take part in a special prayer gathering at the local mosque. And the women to attend a wadifa. The men start to perform the hadra, which in the classical tradition literally means presence. It's believed that by reciting the names of Allah, the hadra is a way of getting closer to God. Aisha struggles to contain her disapproval. Sufis believe that when they experience a connection to the divine, it causes a momentary physical response similar to an electric shock. But for Azim, witnessing this intense spiritual state has left him feeling unsettled.
I've never witnessed it before.
Yeah, no, because in
I've never
Britain...
witnessed people bumping into people.
Well, you know what it is? It's not prevalent in Britain, but it is prevalent across the Muslim world.
Is it a spiritual thing that's happening here?
Yes, of course it is.
So it's not purely Islamic then?
It's not purely Islamic.
So what I'm trying to say, what's happening here, it's more spiritual than anything, because you're saying they're going into a spiritual state.
Yeah, but spirituality is intertwined with Islam.
No, what I'm trying to say, when they go into a state, when they're going into a state, what's happening? So is that because they're so religious that they lose control?
Yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah, it's called
Yeah. Right. So that's more of a spiritual thing going on than an Islamic thing going on.
Why are you separating the two? Why are you keen on separating the two? For them, for these guys here, this is the epitome of their Islam. For somebody else, this might not be their thing. For them, the epitome of their Islam might be something totally different. But I don't understand why you're so keen on separating the two. They're too intertwined.
No, I'm not separating
what I'm
them.
saying is throughout Islamic lands, it is established that this is how a lot of people...
It is funny, I've never seen it before.
Guys, come in, yeah? Come down here, yeah? Namaste. Huna?
What they're saying to me is that they're so intoxicated with the love of God that they're falling all over the place. What?
Next day, Abdullah arranges a visit to the tomb of a famous Muslim saint. But after the excitement of the night before, Madassa is still on a spiritual high.
I'm learning to see the deeper significance of what's going on. I'm learning to allow what's going on to affect me and to taste it. I have to taste it. And I think I'm beginning to do that.
But he's still troubled by Azim's dismissive attitude.
Last night, it seemed to me that he was trying to say that what these guys are doing is wrong. And for me, being in that, being all kind of, you're trying to say that how I'm feeling right now is wrong? What gives you the right to say that? And I think that's been influenced by Aisha. Yesterday, he sent a text message from my mobile phone to Aisha, saying, I know what you mean about this bumping around stuff. I've seen it now. you know. That implied that our conversation makes sense. So she's obviously filled him up with some preconceptions that he's come here with, and then he's gone, woo-hoo. You see, that, I saw that, and that's what made me angry, is that there are people going out there evangelically trying to tell people this is un-Islamic, this is wrong, you know, you shouldn't do that. And, you know, don't. If you have it genuinely adverse, you genuinely don't like it. But then there's a difference between like and you thinking it's not Islamic. You see, he said it's not Islamic.
The group is led up to the tomb of Moulay Abdul Salam Mashish. It's a place of pilgrimage, and along with other visitors to the shrine, they join in recitation from the Quran.
This place is a place of divine presence. It is my belief, and it is the belief of many, many others, that if you go to places like this, and the greatest of which would be Mecca or the grave of the Prophet, if you go to places like this and you're open, we believe that it will bring about a spiritual change within you.
Spiritual change is already a reality for Madassa, but with the exception of Pom, the rest of the group seems unwilling or unable to engage.
I did feel very, very connected indeed, not only to the people in the group, but to something greater, and the actual location, the music, the people's voices, I just found really uplifting.
I looked into those people's faces, honestly, to the right of us.
Yeah.
I felt frightened. I've never been in a religious gathering and felt scared.
It's all right, Amazon, I can cope with it there, but not in the community. Weird stuff.
I'm a Muslim as well. I'm a Muslim as well. If there's something here, it should touch my heart to, you know. I can't feel it, can't see it.
The trip to Morocco has split the group and threatens to disrupt the retreat. But the final week would produce even more unforeseen results.
Okay, so I guess the cat's out of the bag. I had what I consider to be a spiritual experience.
You know, it's not as if I'm lusting after the woman. I'm looking at the bigger picture. She might, you know, just come through. I might have really backed the right horse.
I had so many jokes before I came out. Oh, God, you're going to come back with a hijab and you're going to be a Muslim, oh. But, you know, maybe I will.
So the final week of Retreat here on BBC Two next Monday, same time, 9 o'clock.
قلت بدرا فليس البدر يشبهه